All right. Thank you guys for getting on this call today. I spent the day going through a lot of the personal development I've done and just kind of figuring out like where my confidence came from when I talk to people about Beachbody, whether it be with the business coaching opportunity or even the products. I feel like I have a pretty good handle on it at this point. And mind you guys, I'm 4 years in, like it's taken me some time. So it's always a work in progress, but I'm kind of at a point now in my business where I've shared it so much on social media. I live and I breathe it. It's just more natural for me to talk about it. And I will say too, and we'll go into this with my bullet points, is like, you've got to show up pretty much. You have to show up in your business. You have to show people that you are not giving up on yourself. Therefore, they will trust you not to give up on them. So it's definitely come full circle for me in the last almost 4 years. So I'm going to share pretty much everything that I think that I did that helped me get to this point. So it takes a lot to get comfortable with conversations, and it takes a lot on our end, for us to really believe in what we do. And really, if you believe in what you do and you believe in the products that you have, then that's golden right there. Like, you have to have a belief in the products in order to share that with other people. Do you have a belief in the products? Are you being proof that the products work? Are you drinking your Shakeology? Are you sharing your workouts? Are you plugging into the community? Like, are you taking advantage of everything that you have to do? Hold on, Luis is trying to get on. Can somebody message Luis, please? With the meeting ID on Facebook, if you don't mind, or just tag her in the post. Thank you. Thanks, Sabrina. So yeah, are you being proof of the products? You know, that's a vital behavior, but that is kind of the foundation in which your business is built. If, honestly speaking, I've had a harder time converting regular people who want to do the coaching opportunity, than I do with like a challenger to a coach, like Rachel to now being a coach, to Louise having an amazing transformation and her wanting to be a coach. That belief is the foundation, right? Because you already have an idea of what we do and you have an idea of what we have to offer. And another part of that is getting your product knowledge. I'm not saying you need to know the ins and outs and the ingredients of all the things and the science behind Core de Force and know about Jericho's life and her husband's name and all that. Like, you don't need to know all that. But what you need to know is our highlights. Do you know what we have to offer? What are your favorite ingredients in Shakeology? Do you know what they're doing for you, for your body? Like, you feel like increased sense of energy, but do you know the background behind that increased energy? Have you looked at the green tea caffeine extract that's in Shakeology? Would you be able to just mouth that to a potential customer or even a coach? And it's really looking into your back office, looking at the amazing websites that Beachbody maintains for us, like your Shakeology website, like pretty much anything. If you can read the bullet points, it'll give you all of the benefits that you probably just need to know off the top of your head. Word them and make them your own, but that's pretty much it right there. And another thing is listening to the Shakeology podcast. Like, that's been really great for me. I only started listening to the Shakeology podcast very, very recently. So it's just another really great resource out there with the science behind it. So that's another really great resource, is the Shakeology podcast, because it's another tool for us to either point our customers to, because of course you don't want to take that role of the nutritionist or the professional. There are professionals in place for us. So we can point them to the resources, we can tell them what we know, but as far as thinking that you're that professional, unless you have like a degree or certification in that, then I would just steer clear and point them to that. Another thing that it sets us apart from everybody else is that, so there's Herbalife, right? I know you guys have all heard of Herbalife. Herbalife is pretty much like 2 shakes a day and then a bunch of supplements with like fat burners and things like that. But we are the only fitness company in the whole world that couples nutrition, the workout, and the support together. Of course, you can do it without the support, because our leads that come in through the website, they don't meet a coach first and foremost, but then that's our job to swoop in there and send a message to them and say, hey, I'm your free coach. I'm here to support you. About 9 times out of 10, they're not going to respond. But then the one time that they do respond, you get amazing people like Rayanne, and then she introduced me to Louise, and like just this like snowball of awesomeness. So we are the only company that groups nutrition, workout, and support. We have that leg up over Herbalife. They don't do that. They write their own workout material if they want to give their clients material. Take a peek into your bod accounts, guys. Look around, click on workouts, press play and watch it. Like something that I do pretty frequently, if I need a refresher, if there's a program that I haven't done, I've pretty much done almost all workouts, at least like 3 to 4 of each of the workouts, except for like the super old ones, like yoga, booty, ballet, and stuff. But what I would do is I would press play and I would fast forward to like 5 minutes to give myself a sneak peek of what that workout entails. People love Body Beast, guys. Body Beast is one of our like oldest workouts. People know P90X. So when people ask you, oh, what are you doing these days? I see you posting about your workouts. My elevator pitch, and we call this your 30-second elevator pitch, is I say, oh, I'm an online health and wellness coach. Don't even name Beachbody. I'm an online health and wellness coach. Have you heard of Insanity or P90X or Body Beast? Because odds are they have seen that, right? And say, oh, well, I work for that company and I help people through those programs. Is this something that you'd like to hear more about? You know, because then they're like, oh yeah, I know P90X. I see those infomercials at like midnight, or, you know, like they see these things. And so take a look at what we have to offer in that arsenal. Like Beachbody On Demand, we didn't have Beachbody On Demand, guys. Like it was only DVDs when I started. And yeah, it just definitely it was not as extensive as it is now. And so take advantage of the fact that you have every single program at your fingertips so that you can cater to every single person that may come your way. Let's see here. Oh, another great tool is look at Fixate. Like Fixate is phenomenal, and it was pretty much just like thrown in there with Beachbody On Demand. And it's just a really, really great tool for those of us who don't know as much about nutrition, because when I first started, I did not know what to substitute what for. Or I didn't know. I had to, I did a lot of self-research, and having Fixate, it makes everything so foolproof and easy and at our fingertips. There's also the yoga for our pregnant ladies. There's maternity fitness, challenge du jour, which is a challenge of the day. That's another great tip. I know people who, you know, like Louise was doing the squat challenge, right? Some people want a little added extra, and challenge du jour is good for that. And there's also the master trainers. I adore the master trainers. So there's celebrity trainers like Jericho and Joel, and then we have master trainers, the people that are the face of Beachbody that go out and train group fitness instructors like myself. So I've encountered some spectacular master trainers, and they're the people on the DVDs sometimes. They're the people who do the challenge du jours. Some of them are top coaches in the company. And their expertise, they may not be a celebrity trainer, but they know their craft. And I love doing their workouts, and I love a few of them. Rollins is one of my favorite. He trained me in Insanity. And then another thing that you can do to instill your belief in the products is use our team before and afters. Veronica just posted her before and after of the Ultimate Refresh, or I'm sorry, Ultimate Reset. Feel free to use your teammates before and afters. I've posted my Core de Force before and afters, and I'll post them again on the team page. Feel free to use them because, one, it's going to show your fan base that our products work. And 2, it's going to show that you're included in this awesome team and creates amazing team culture. And you can say something like, oh my gosh, I'm so floored by my teammate Veronica's transformation. Look at what she did in just 21 days. She lost 12 pounds. I can't wait to try this detox. Or you can just simply share her post and say, oh, much love to you, Veronica. You did this. And like just showing her love. And recognition is definitely something I know that us as mothers or as teachers, positive reinforcement is really, really, really sought after, as well as that recognition. When somebody's recognized, it feels good. Or when you recognize somebody on your team as an outsider looking in, I'm like, I want to be a part of that. So it's really important that we love on each other as well and show people that our team culture is where it's at. My next bullet point is belief in our systems, right? So we just talked about having belief in our products, knowing about your product knowledge, knowing about Shakeology, what it's done for you, what programs we have and all that stuff, but belief in our systems. And our systems, I mean, our challenge group, right? So there's the weight loss side where we want to collect challenge groups. And then there's the coaching side where we want to collect tribe members like us that continue to pay it forward. So I'm going to talk about the challenge group first. And where this comes in is when you're talking to somebody, rather than talking about, oh, you can log your Shakeology on this app, it's so awesome, you can put all your before pictures in there and this and that. Rather than talking about the features, talk about what a challenge group has done for you in your life. Talk about the community. Have you made some lifelong friends in there? Like, I know I talk to my challengers way more than I talk to my friends that I had in high school that I still see on occasions. Like, I talk to you guys a lot more and I interact with you because fitness is something that's so important in my life. Building this business is something so important in my life and my family's life. It's a priority to me. You guys are a priority to me. My challenge groups, checking in with them and making sure that they succeed in their programs, that's a priority to me. So I have made lifelong friends. I've traveled with these friends. Like, it's just been a really great support. And it's ongoing, right? We all know that our new challenge groups always start the second Monday of the month. There is always somebody to get plugged in. So if you're talking to somebody like, oh, I don't know, it's just not a good month for me. I'm like, all right, girl, I got you next month. I'm going to hit you up when registration for the next group opens up. Is that okay with you? And usually the response that I get is like, oh my gosh, I would love that. Yes, please let me know when you register for the next group. I've never had anybody be like, oh, well, one person was like, is it okay if I get back to you? And I was like, all right, girl, I got you. It's cool. I'm still going to follow up though. I'm still going to follow up. So yeah, there's that ongoing support. And something that I tell people all the time, especially in my challenge group emails, is I say at the bottom, because I know it's only 4 weeks, are you looking for a long-term change? Then you can roll over into the next group. I got you. No matter what, we have their back no matter what. Something that I used to say a lot to people is, oh, so I only pay, so say it was a challenge pack, right? $140. So it's $140 and that's it? And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to drink Shakeology the next month, then yeah, then there's going to be another cost. But essentially, you make a one-time investment and you get me for the rest of your life. Like, I have people that I coached the 21-day fix in, like Jessica in our group now. I had her dust off her DVDs. Like, she didn't purchase anything new, but I saw her post on her Facebook, I'm going to start the 21-day fix again. And I messaged her right away and said, I'm going to plug you in and we're going to get this cracking. Like, I will coach you as long as you need me to. Even if you never buy another bag of Shakeology, I don't care. You're still using the 21-day fix. You're still sharing about it on your Facebook. So I'm going to be that support for you because that was my promise and that is my priority, is taking care of my clients. Another thing that the challenge group has done for you is accountability, right? Like, hello, like the people on this call, you guys have posted the most on our challenge group, and it keeps you accountable, right? Because you have this gang of women behind you that are here to support you, you know, here to interact with each other, and there to really just be there for you even when the times gets hard. And if I see you, I mean, I'm not that coach that's going to like drag you to work out, But if I know you were consistent and all of a sudden I don't see you for maybe 2 days, I'm gonna message you and say, hey, where are you at? Like, you were doing so well. What's going on? What's happening in life? Like, let me know. So there's that accountability and the support that you can offer them as that coach. And you don't get this. I wrote this down. You don't get this unless you pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year for a trainer at the gym. I remember when I was going to the gym, I was like desperate to get into shape. I had no idea what I was doing in the gym. I was paying like $125 a week for a trainer. Isn't that absurd? Isn't that crazy? Now I can walk in the gym, and because I know these specific movements from the 21-day fix, I'm like, oh, I got this hammer curl with a press, or just like different movements that we've learned because of the education that we've gotten from the workouts that we get to do at home. Like, I feel like I'm in like the man side of the gym when I'm doing Body Beast with all the like big burly guys around me. Like, that's how I feel at home. And we have the opportunity of getting into the best shape of our lives from home, and talking to some really great people. And then another thing that I implemented that I have really liked is the Zoom calls with the challenge groups. I didn't do this before this year. I actually just started that this year because I was assessing my business last year, and I was like, okay, what kind of growth do I want? What is the foundation of that growth? And the foundation of that growth are challenge groups, right? Challenge groups and adding consistent new challengers to your group and in your network is what's going to compound and make your customer base grow. Because you're going to have those customers who you treated with the utmost respect, gave the highest level of customer service, made them feel so amazing. They had this great transformation, and then they're just going to stay with you. They're a lifer now, right? And so the very core of your business should be adding people to your challenge groups, and then treating and loving on those challengers as hard as you can and getting them the best results possible. Because essentially, they're going to be walking billboards for business. They're going to be walking business cards for you, right? They're going to be telling all their friends, oh my gosh, let me get you hooked up with Sabrina. Like, she is awesome. And I'm at 4 years to my business, and I just started encountering this, like people referring people to me, probably in the last 9 months of my business, because I was like, why did it take me so long to realize that the challenge group is where it's at? Like, before this, I was like running a challenge group like really haphazardly, really just sporadically, not on a consistent basis. But as soon as I got to the end of the year and I saw that my business wasn't where I wanted it to be, I was like, I need to focus. I need to quit my job. I'm miserable there. What do I do here to build a really great base of my business? And I had to get organized. And that's where the second Monday of every month came. And it's been awesome. And it's been awesome for the team to get organized, because now you guys know exactly when these challenge groups start. So yeah, and the team culture with these Zoom calls are just awesome. I love them. I love them a lot. And then the one-on-one support. I usually send a message out to everybody. I try to once a week just to check in. A lot of times you don't get responses, but it's okay, because they see you pop up in their newsfeed or their inbox, and they know that you're there, right? Okay, so now we're going to move into the belief in our systems, inviting to the business opportunity. So this is kind of like, it depends. I like to feel out the people that I'm speaking to. I have a better time speaking to challengers to coaches right now than presenting the opportunity, which is okay. It's more natural because the challengers who would make stellar coaches already have a general idea of what you do. Whereas somebody who doesn't, looking in, they're like, oh, that's kind of weird. I don't know. It's not a regular 9 to 5. It's not a regular job, right? So for me personally, the points that I like to touch on is, what has it done for me in my personal development? That's where I start. I say, man, without coaching, I don't know where I'd be right now. But I could tell you the person I was. I hated my job. I was always looking for a way out. I gossiped a lot. I talked about other people's problems. I meddled in other people's problems. And I was just unhappy with everything that was going on with my life, my body, parts of my marriage, unfortunately, were suffering. And I was looking for something to pull me out of that. Something that, and the very thing that helped me grow was the responsibility that I all of a sudden had to help mentor entrepreneurs like myself, to help mentor women into finding balance in fitness. I had to grow if I wanted my clients to grow, if I wanted my team to grow. So it was a lot of soul searching. It was a lot of making sure I was around the right people. And it's definitely fueled my passion. I didn't think that as a college dropout and then pregnant and married by 25, that I was going to ever be able to do something that I loved. I thought that I would always have to work for a check, right? I always thought that like my life would be behind a cubicle. My life would be commuting an hour and a half to work and an hour and a half home to see my kids like 2 hours a night before they went to bed. I really thought that that was going to be my life. And this coaching opportunity and me seeing people around me being able to quit their jobs and do things that they love and use it as a creative outlet, like that fueled me, and it helped me see that I can do that too. Essentially, what we do is we help people feel good. It's income with an impact, and that's what we get to do. And what I feel is freedom. What you'll get is support from a team of like-minded individuals, of people who want to see you succeed. And then there's perks. Like I took my husband on an all-expense paid trip to the Bahamas and Jamaica last year, exactly 1 year ago, because it was coming up in my time hop. And in a month and a half, I get to take my family to another trip. And it's just been awesome. And it was solely because I was doing my job and I was just helping people throughout the year. So just talk about what it's done for you. And I know for you new coaches, it hasn't done too much yet, but Louise, you just made your first couple of sales. Like that must feel awesome. Like I'm so proud of you. That is great. And it's going to be the closest people around you first, which is great. Awesome. But honestly, I was petrified to talk to my own family about it. And I still don't, because Filipino people are kind of weird about what they eat and what they weigh. And so I'm like, I'll be here when you need me. I'll go for walks with my mom, but I'm like, okay, I'll be here, you know, like Dad, no more MSG. Okay. Yeah. Let's stop that. So yeah, so we talk about those things, right? So now I'm going to get into my tips. My notes are not. Okay. When you are talking to people, use verbiage that is inclusive. Baby, can you please close the door? Please close the door. Thank you. Use verbiage that is inclusive. I like to say, would you like to join my team's challenge group? Would you be interested in joining our accountability group? Our, not my, because you want them to, you don't want it to seem like you're doing it all on your own. You want it to be very, very inclusive. So I'll say my team and I are doing this. My team and I are so excited to get to know you in our challenge group. And it makes it really welcoming, right? You feel much better when you're like, ooh, I got like more than you. Like, that's awesome, right? So, and then always end your invitation with a question. I'll say, hey, there's a difference between saying, would you be interested in joining our challenge group? Then, oh my gosh, our February challenge group was so amazing. I wanted to see if I can get even more women on board. And then I would say, what are your thoughts on home fitness? Or what do you think about joining this challenge group? Or can you see yourself doing this? Does this seem like a good fit for you? Do you think that you can fit 30 minutes into your life? Another tip that I have is never say, let me know. I learned this because they're never going to let you know. They're not going to let you know nothing. Usually, Well, most of the time, they're not going to let you know. So always set a follow-up. Say, oh, okay, well, if now's not a good time, would it be okay with you if I followed up maybe next month when I open up registration? And I always end with talk soon, because you will talk soon, because I will talk to you again, right? All right. Last of my tips. Oh, in relation to asking questions, right? Sometimes I have conversations and they just keep rolling. They're just like rolling downhill. We don't really know where it's going yet. And you're just going back and forth. I had a more difficult conversation, I would like to say, with a prospect. And I asked her if she wanted to get more information. And she goes, what you're doing sounds really cool, but I'm naturally curvy and I would really love to lose 50 pounds in a perfect world, but realistically, it's like never going to happen. And I was like, oh, I just want to shake you. And I was like, well, why don't you think it's realistic? She was like, I don't know. I just feel like I've tried so many things and it never works out for me. I've just always been big. And I go, okay, well, what do you think it would feel like? What would it mean to you to lose 50 pounds? And she was like, I don't know, because it's impossible. And I was like, wow, you're making this really hard for me. But I was just like, okay, well, I told her the science behind it. I was like, if you start eating right and you just move around, you're going to drop weight naturally. Like, fact, girl. But I want to get down to the root of it. Why don't you think it's possible? And so, yeah, like in that instance, it's just really difficult to get a read on them, but it's so important you just always leave it open-ended. And also, when people ask, how much is it? The dreaded question, right? How much is it? Don't answer them too soon. I usually say, well, you got a lot of options. What are your goals? How would it feel for you to hit that goal? What types of workouts do you like to do when you do work out? And then go from there, right? Well, I have a goal of losing 15 pounds before the summer, but I have an awful sweet tooth. And like, if chocolate is in front of me, then I'm just going to eat it. Like, I have no control. Okay, great. Well, Shakeology has helped me curb my sweet tooth. Now that I drink Shakeology every morning, I stay away from the chocolate in the office or in the break room or wherever it is. I don't even go near it. I don't even crave it anymore because of this chocolate shake that has 70 all natural whole food ingredients in it. Would you like a sample, or would you be interested in learning more? Right? And then she's going to be like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. And you can talk about what it's done for you. It's made my hair and nails grow like crazy. It stops the bloating. My kids love it. It keeps us all regular. Like, talk about those things. And then the last thing should be, how much is it? Okay. So, and also remember, in talking to people, you're going to get a lot of no's. There's a lot of rejection in this business, guys. We've got to have thick skin in order to just, some will, some won't, who's next, right? And just because somebody says no to you one time doesn't mean it's a hard no. Never, I will never consider doing a challenge group with you. I think what you're doing isn't working. Obviously, you've lost like 30 pounds. Like, it's fake. It's a gimmick, right? No, it's never going to be that extreme. So I usually follow up with them or ask permission to follow up with them. And then when you ask permission to follow up with them, actually follow through and do it, because it's going to show that person that you are serious about your business and that they didn't slip through the cracks. I had somebody, I don't know if I told you guys, I had somebody message me about joining our challenge group. And I sent her a video memo on Instagram, direct message. And I'd never really done that before. So I messaged her. And one of my biggest fears always is approaching or talking to somebody who's spoken to other Beachbody coaches, because you don't know what their experiences were like with other coaches, you know? So that is one of my biggest fears. So I sent her this video. I was like, girl, like, I would be so excited if you joined me in this challenge group. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit so you can put my voice to my face. But essentially we're starting on this date, and this is what it's going to entail. And I would love to work with you. And she messaged me back. She was like, oh my gosh, thank you for that video. Honestly, I've never had anybody send that to me. And I've had really awful experiences with other coaches, like just phishing. And that was really nice. And I was like, thanks for that feedback. Like, that was great, because of those personal touches and those follow-ups. Like, if you're going to say you're going to follow up, then follow up. Read personal development. Fill your mind and fill your posts. For those of you who are like, I don't know what to post about, posting inconsistently and things like that, like, we have to remember that at the very core, we are network marketers, right? We talked about this last week. We are professional network marketers. And the sooner we come to grasp with the fact that businesses are now built online, especially on social media, the less it's going to be uncomfortable when you do start posting on your social media 3 to 5 times a day. The more eyes you have on your posts, the more likely you're going to get people asking you about it. It takes me like forever to get any traction on challenge groups sometimes. And when I'm not posting, your posts are kind of a segue to your invites, right? They're a gateway to you inviting that person. So it is really important that you fill your posts with value. Not just like, I posted or something like, oh, I'm going to post my food. Look at my food. It looks so delicious. No, post your recipe so that somebody else can enjoy that with you, right? Instead of posting something like, got my morning workout done, and then you're flexing, post something like, morning workouts help me feel so refreshed in my day. They actually, contrary to what you may think, they actually give me more energy in my day, and they don't take any energy away, considering it's only a 30-minute workout, 2% of your day. No excuse, right? Add value to your posts. And in order to add value, you've got to add value to your mind by reading personal development. My very, very favorite book, and the first book I suggest you guys read or listen to as a new coach, is The Compound Effect. The Compound Effect is so good. It is just like, it is the first book that any entrepreneur or Beachbody coach will recommend. And then objections. We'll talk about objections more. I think I'm going to do an objections training on our team page. But really, objections just mean that your prospect has not been informed completely. Objections come up when they have questions or they aren't very clear on a specific topic that you spoke about. So ask them open questions, right? Say, well, what is it that isn't making sense? Or what's it going to take to make you feel more comfortable about making this decision and joining us? What are your concerns? Let's address them now, because I want you to feel good about this decision. And then promoting your lifestyle on social media, not just challenge groups. It's great to do a call to action maybe once or twice a week in joining you in your challenge group, but most of the time people are going to fall back and just watch what you're doing first. They like to watch, they like to be wallflowers and see what you're doing, see what you're up to, see how serious you are about your own life and your own fitness journey, and then they're going to join you and they're going to see your results. Show what Beachbody has done for you, not just before and afters, right? For you new coaches, this may be a little bit more difficult, but as you get into the groove, it's going to get a lot easier to see what Beachbody has done for you, right? Like, let's say you sold your first Beachbody On Demand All Access Challenge Pack. That's $70 in your pocket, guys. You can say something like, I don't like sharing numbers, but I'll say, wow, when I first bought our car after one of our other cars got totaled, I paid our monthly payment solely with Beachbody earnings. And I posted about that. And I posted a photo of me and my husband holding hands in the car on our nice leather seats. And I was like, this is awesome. I never thought that I'd be able to do this. We pay for this car with my Beachbody earnings. Just nice and simple. Just throw it in there really naturally. Because I get to help people get into the best shapes of their lives, I was able to provide this vehicle for my family. And it feels good to be able to do that with my husband being the breadwinner for so long. Promote the vision of the coaching side, not just the weight loss side, right? And that's promoting vision like us screenshotting this team call and then sharing, oh my gosh, I loved it, connecting with my tribe of coaches. I love delivering this training to them. Super Saturday is coming up on April 8th. You can share that and say, this is awesome. I'm in an auditorium with people who love all the same things. And this has just been such a great community. I think that's all I had. Whoop, whoop. I finished on time. All right. That's all I had, guys.
Awesome.
Any questions?
So many. I have so many.
Okay, go.
Okay, so you're saying, okay, first, so I have like some people that I talk to that like, she already loves Payo, right? Like she teaches yoga herself. She already loves Payo. She's interested in all of it. But like you were talking about, she had a bad experience with a past Beachbody coach. And I was not even like trying to market or anything. I was just telling her about how like my new best friends are all these strangers in challenge group, right? Like, without them, I don't think I could have done it, you know? And so she was like, how do the challenge groups work? Because I don't know if I'm even clear about how they work. Like, she's like, I want to be in a group where it's like you and like the people that are in like your circle. I don't know what that means. Like,
Okay. So yeah, so this will be good because we have Luis on the call too, and then Sabrina who's building her team as well, so she can. So the way that I explain it, right? Because you had a question too. You're like, what is Brazen Fitness? So essentially, the way that it happens, right? So we're umbrellaed under a bigger organization. My upline coach and his wife, they're the founders of Shred Nation. I just added you to that team page. It's going to make so much more sense now that you made your fake Facebook so that you can see these groups because I got you added to them. So Shred Nation is up here. I am a branch off of Shred Nation. And then as I build my own team, you guys are all going to be under me, right? So as new coaches come on board, I help you run challenge groups. So right now we have a big group, right? We have like 45 people. Probably next month, Sabrina will run her own challenge group. Veronica will run her own challenge group, and we'll break off, right? Because the premise is it's like, okay, we're going to build this team culture, but I also want you guys to get confident enough on creating your own challenge group and making it your own. Not all challenge groups are ran the same. Like no two coaches run challenge groups the same way. So I'm more than happy to get your new people in. Like we have Luis's sister now, and I'm going to add one more person tonight. I'm more than happy to add them in there, but it's pretty much a team-wide challenge group. And the reason we're doing this right now is because I feel like it creates a better team culture. It helps Sabrina and Veronica see what I'm doing with my challenge groups. They're doing their own posts as well. That takes pressure off of me. But eventually, like back in the day, I used to run my own challenge groups by myself, and they were all on Facebook because we hadn't developed the app yet. So that's essentially what it is. I'm more than happy to add your people to the group, start, but maybe like 3 months down the line, say in June, it's time to fly the nest. You know what I mean?
and then when you, I'm sorry, does anybody else have a question? I have like just a few before I forget.
Right.
So you're saying like, you know, the girl was saying like she had 21 Day Fix DVDs, right? And you were just like, yeah, let's do it. Like dust those off and let's get back into your Ds or whatever. Like if somebody already has some like a P90X or T25 or whatever the program is, we could still invite them into the challenge group, and then
even if they didn't have a Beachbody account, they would create an account because the tracker app is like a separate entity. So it's not like, so you don't have to have a Beachbody program. But when you do talk to customers like that, the first question that I always ask is, have you been working with a coach? Have you had contact with this coach? What was the contact like? Because I have somebody that I added into the group and she was like, oh, I'm going to do Core de Force. And she was like an old friend of mine. And I was like, oh, do you have a coach? And she was like, yeah, I do. But like, I don't really talk to her. And I was like, okay, well, how do you feel about working with me? Because the last thing I would want is somebody poaching my people. So I like to ask these questions first and say like, okay, well, if it's a go, she's like, yeah, you're not. I was laughing with her and I was pretty candid with her because I know her like that. And I was like, I don't want to steal you from anyone. And she was like, no, you're not stealing me. And she started laughing. So the next course of action after that is to ask them, 1, their email address for their Beachbody account, 2, their shipping address on their Beachbody account, and 3, the last 4 digits of the card that they last used on their Beachbody account, because you want to get them switched to you on your account. And you can do that by chatting Coach Relations or filling out a customer change form. And we can talk about that in depth later on when it's time to go there. And I say, well, okay, well, I'm going to get you switched under me so that I get a better history of what you've been doing and so that I can coach you. I say that flat out. And the girl that dusted off the 21-day fix, she was actually an old coach of mine. So it just worked out that way. So she is in my customer base anyway. But you are going to have a lot of people who are like, oh, I had P90X a while ago, or, oh, I was doing this and this and this. Get them switched to you first and foremost. First, ask them about if they've been contacted with their coach. And second, get them switched. But that girl that had a horrible experience, I would just get her switched so that we can love on her and she can like just get her mind blown at the community that we have.
I have my other sister. I just found out she was in team or in Beachbody already, like 2 years ago. But she's inactive, so she wants to join up under me.
A coach?
No, she's not a coach. She's just a member.
Okay, so a new customer.
Right. She's been in it for 2 years, but she said she's inactive because she just kind of gave up on it. So she wants to redo it under me.
So so she wasn't working out and she wants to start up again?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I don't know if she wants to get the all access pass or not. We haven't talked that far in, but she's interested.
Okay. Is she long-term interested, do you think? Do you think it's something that she would stick with? Okay.
I'm not sure. I know that she's really a very busy person, so I'll have to talk with her more.
Okay. Yeah, just feel her out. The reason I ask too is because there's no shame also. Like there's nothing wrong with leading with the coach discount, right? Like remember how I approached you? I was like, hey, you've been drinking Shakeology and I know you're due this month. Have you ever thought about getting a discount? And you were like right away, like, yeah, I want a discount. And I was like, yeah, well, this is it. And honestly, when you came in, I thought that that's all you wanted to do was get a discount. But now you're bringing people in and you're getting your Shakeology reimbursed. So that's another great way that you can approach it, right? And say, hey, sis, so if you want to get really great results, it's going to take more than one round. And it's going to take more than one bag of Shakeology. Would you be interested in getting a coach discount? And then if she's like, yeah, what do I have to do? Then we can go into it and say like, you're going to be saving like $20 a month on your shakes. Like you can just start it there because there are people on our team, honestly, that signed up just for the discount, you know? So there is such great value in providing that. And if you come from a place where you're like, let's save you some money, like every penny counts, then it works just works really well. And you're like, oh, they do have my best interest in mind. Like, yeah, it's going to take more than one round, you know, like it doesn't happen in 21 days. So yeah. Cool. Any other questions? You good, Rachel? Sabrina?
I have no questions, but it's okay. Maybe I'll just write them down and I have to go to dinner.
Rachel, I'll text you, but I'm gonna stop recording.